Hey friends, welcome to my composition art journal series, part 15, Treasures in Heaven. If you'd like to see how I prepared a cheap composition notebook and turned it into an art journal, I will put a link down below. A lot of times I like to incorporate scripture into my art journal pages. I have the scripture writing notebook that I keep with me every morning when I do my Bible study. And so I flipped through there and was just trying to recall some of the verses that had really impacted me and wanted to incorporate them into my art journal page. So I will read this first verse to you. It is from 2 Samuel 14:14. All of us must die eventually. Our lives are like water spilled out on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. But God does not just sweep life away. Instead, He devises ways to bring us back when we have been separated from Him. He redeems us. Every life is precious to Him, and He devises ways to bring us back when we're separated from Him. I love that. The next verse is going to maybe sound a little bit weird. It sounds kind of random, but it was very significant to me. But what about all that silver I paid to hire the army of Israel? Amaziah asked the man of God, and he replied, Yahweh is able to give you much more than this. The morning that I read this, it was really personal and profound to me because I was lamenting over the fact that we had made a business investment that went south and we lost a lot of money, and we thought we were making a wise investment. And so I was just grieving over it, and I just felt like, my husband had a great attitude. He said, we just have to let it go. And I tried and I just prayed about it. And then I read this verse and it just encouraged me so much that ultimately all of our provisions are in His hand because He's the one that we trust. And that train of thought led me to Matthew 6. Don't store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moths and rust destroy and thieves can break in and steal. Instead, store up treasures in heaven where moth and rust cannot destroy and thieves cannot break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. And finally, Mark 8:36, for what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet forfeit his soul? So once I journaled all my text, I started with some stamping, and I am amazed. I pulled this stamp ink pad out from, I think I had it before I had kids. I've had it that long, which my oldest are 17. So whatever brand that is a really good brand. And I used this piece of circle cardboard to mask over the journaling. So anywhere you don't want your stamp to print, you can just put a sticky note or a piece of paper or something over it. And then I thought, oh, well, that circle is going to look really fun with those stamps on it. I'm going to use that for something someday. And this stamp is a recent purchase from Temu, which in my Facebook group has gotten quite the bit of controversial discussion lately. And I know on my videos I've recommended it several times, but definitely do your research. I think I need to do a little bit more research too, because I definitely want to support ethical businesses, and I'm just not sure what all the concern is about. So, yeah, I try to avoid controversy, especially on social media and this video. So I'm going to stop talking about that. But anyway, that's where I got them. And this stencil is from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just using acrylic paint, some pink paint. And I have learned with stenciling, I'm getting better because less paint is better. So if you're new at that, learn from my mistakes. I started off using way too much paint, and then it would always get globbed around and under the stencil. And so, I stopped doing that. And I had just cut a paper towel tube to create a little stamp that's kind of my little ovals. And I'm using a Posca marker. And yeah, so I'm just doodling. I'm having fun. Doodle, doodle, doodle. So I'll just stop chatting and let you watch my process.